Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today, I'm going to be giving you guys my updated standings predictions for the shortened 60-game Major League Baseball season. Now, I've already done this video back in, I believe, March for the full 162-game schedule, but because we have, give or take, 100 games less, and a lot has changed, I thought it'd only be right to give you guys an updated list of where I think each team is going to fall in their respective divisions for this 2020 year. Now, we have Major League Baseball coming back in just 6 days, guys. The Yankees, the Nationals, the Giants, and the Dodgers will all be playing on Thursday, July 23rd, 2020 for the initial opening day of the year, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. Yankees baseball's back. Baseball's back in general, and I am so ecstatic here. A 60-game season in just less than 70 days, and then what's going to be a really fun postseason this year. It's a lot to look forward to, and I am all in. So I'm going to give you guys my updated standings in this video. If you're ready, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. A lot has changed, but a lot hasn't. Let's get right into it. We're going to start things off with the American League East, as we usually do for these types of videos. And coming in 5th place, I think it's only fitting. It makes sense. It's the easy pick here, the Baltimore Orioles. We know that they're rebuilding. They don't have a whole lot of great guys on their team. They have lost Trey Mancini, unfortunately. Again, hope for a speedy recovery for him. He's battling cancer, so he will not be playing. But this Orioles team that was okay just kind of got a little bit worse because they lost their big guy on the team. So this is rebuild season for them. They're trying to get a lot of young pieces. Adley Rutschman is a fun guy that they have coming up in the farm system. So we have a lot of potential success for the Orioles within the next couple of years, but right now, 2020 is not going to be their time. Yes, anything could happen, but in this short 60-game season, I don't think the Orioles will do much more than finish 5th. Now, coming in 4th place, now this, I believe, is a little different from my original standings predictions. In 4th place, I have the Boston Red Sox. I don't know what it is, just I have a gut feeling here that the Red Sox aren't going to have a hot year. They did not do well in 2019 after winning the World Series in 2018. They lost Mookie Betts. Their pitching rotation is down with injuries and I believe opt-outs and stuff that's going on. So right now, it's not looking too great for the Red Sox either. And in 3rd place, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, really, the Red Sox and the Blue Jays can be interchangeable, but I like what the Blue Jays have going for them. They have a lot of young talent, and we know that. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Kevin Biggio, Bo Bichette, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. They have a lot of fun guys, and I love watching their Instagram. They have one of the best Instagram pages, by the way. Just, they are going off, having a great time in batting practice. Hyunjin Ryu is joining the team. Their starting pitching rotation is a little bit better than it has been in recent years. I do think that there's a solid chance that the Blue Jays can overcome Boston this season, so that's why I have them 3rd. And in 2nd place, they will have a wild card spot, the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, they have a great team as well. One of the best rotations in Major League Baseball, at least the American League East, with Morton, Snell, and Glasnow. But I don't think they are going to beat the New York Yankees, who I have in 1st for the division, right? The Rays have a lot of great guys as well. Austin Meadows is one of the big names there for them offensively. I do think that they can do a lot, and it's going to be close, I want to say, for a little bit between the Rays and the Yankees. But at the end of the day, I think New York comes in number 1. They have Garrett Cole. They have their squad, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez. Everyone on that team is healthy at the moment, and when they are healthy, they are going to be really, really scary good. So at the moment, my American League East standings go as follows from top to bottom. Your New York Yankees, Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto Blue Jays, Boston Red Sox, and Baltimore Orioles. In my opinion, finishing 5th in the American League Central, you have the Detroit Tigers. They got a couple pieces this winter, but really nothing significant. It's not going to help them go very far this season, so I don't think they are going to really be able to surpass any other rival team in the Central. But you do have the Kansas City Royals, who are another team that are trying to rebuild, like the Tigers, like the Orioles we've already talked about, and I think they will be finishing 4th. The Tigers and the Royals, again, are focusing more on the future than they are the present, which is fine, but I just don't see them winning a whole lot of games this year. So, in 3rd now, this is where it's a little bit different that we've seen in recent years, because we're used to the Cleveland Indians being close to the top of this division for the most part, but I have them finishing third, and I think that makes sense because they did lose a significant chunk of their starting pitching rotation. They no longer have Corey Kluber. They do not have Trevor Bauer anymore. They've lost a lot of good guys on that team. Now, granted, they still have Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Carlos Santana, but those guys won't carry the Tribe to a great season. Nothing that's going to be significant in getting them a wild card spot, I don't think. Especially when you're going up against the Chicago White Sox, who I have finishing second. Now, the White Sox have had one of the best off seasons in Major League Baseball recently, and I'm really excited to see what this team can do. They're absolutely going to tear it up at the plate and in the field, but I love this White Sox team. Like, if I were to go ahead and pick a Dark Knight team for maybe first in the division, I'd go with the Chicago White Sox because this is a great squad, but there is no way that they beat the Minnesota Twins personally. I believe that the Twins are going to do some great things. They're going to finish with a really nice record. We know that they did very well last year in 2019, and now they've added Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain, one of my favorite players, to that team. And I think they just got a lot better, and they're a lot more threatening now than ever. And if this wasn't a shortened season, they could easily beat the home run record that they put up last year by themselves with 317 home runs, which is insane. So again, from bottom to top this time, going into the division for the American League Central, I have the Tigers, the Royals, the Indians, the White Sox, and the Twins. My American League West standings predictions look exactly like they did a few months ago. So with that being said, I still have the Seattle Mariners finishing 5th in the division. Now, much like the Tigers, the Royals, and the Orioles, the Mariners are within rebuild seasons right now. They have a lot of young talent, but I don't see them winning a lot this year, especially in a 60-game season, and I really don't think that they can outplay other competitive teams in their division, which is fine, but right now, the Mariners are looking forward to the future and not the present game. Now, next, coming up 4th in the division, I have the Texas Rangers. Now, last year they finished 3rd in the division, right in front of the Los Angeles Angels, but this year I do think they are going to end 4th. The Angels had some really nice offseason pickups, and so did the Rangers. They picked up some tiny guys here and there, some good upgrades in Todd Frazier, the Todd Father, and Greg Bird, but really I don't see them beating out the Angels and the Astros and the Athletics. And they do have a really strong rotation, don't get me wrong. I love Corey Kluber, Mike Minor, and Lance Lynn, but you still need some offense. You need pop in the bat. Joey Gallo's great, but again, he's not going to carry the team by himself. So right now, we have the Mariners 5th, the Rangers 4th, and the Angels 3rd. I love Anthony Rendon going out to Los Angeles and playing with Mike Trout. I love Albert Pujols, and of course, Mike Trout, best player in Major League Baseball. They added some significant upgrades to their starting rotation this winter towards the back end of things, but it's not going to be enough, kind of like the Rangers. It's not going to be enough to outplay the other teams that are ahead of them in the division. And I think they do have a really strong team. They are looking forward to the future as well. And by that, we might mean 2021, 2022 if they pick up some more big pieces. But right now in 2020, I don't think they have what it takes to beat out the A's, who I have in 2nd. Now, the Oakland Athletics have unfortunately been behind the Astros for the past couple seasons now, and it looks like it's going to remain that way for this year. They didn't really make a whole lot of moves this offseason, if I remember correctly, but they do have a really strong team. They didn't lose many guys either, so I like the A's a lot. I'm rooting for them. I would love to see them beat the Astros. I just don't see it happening right now. And, of course, the Houston Astros finishing 1st, winning the American League West. What's new? They did lose Garrett Cole to the Yankees. Have to put that out there. But, you know, they still have Justin Verlander and Zach Greinke. They have a really nice offense and lineup, you know, strong 1-9. So it's going to be really tough to beat them. I do see it happening. Anything is possible within 60 games. But I do think the Astros take the West once again. Now, if you were to ask me a few months back who was to win the National League East Division, I probably would have said the New York Mets, like I did in my previous predictions video. But that is out of a love for the team and out of them having a really solid squad that has a lot of potential for the first time within a few years. But as of right now, with the shortened season, things have changed. And I had originally the Marlins, Phillies, Braves, Nationals, and Mets from bottom to top back in March. As of today, things have changed. The division's going to look a little bit different, in my opinion. Finishing 5th, you still have the Miami Marlins, who, like the other teams in the American League East, Central, and West, who finished at the bottom, are rebuilding. But they do have some really nice pieces on that team. They made some good pickups. I like Jesus Aguilar. I like Corey Dickerson. I think that they do have a nice little squad coming together here. Jonathan Villar as well over there at second base, but they aren't going to play well enough to go any further than 5th. In 4th, you have the Phillies repeating. Now, last year they finished 4th place in the division. I think they're going to do the same again this year. They have, on paper, a decent team, but really, if you look at it, it's not enough to beat the other 3 teams in the division, and especially the one being reigning World Series champions, the Washington Nationals. Now, I have the Nationals finishing 3rd here behind the New York Mets, who are taking 2nd, because I like the Nationals, I like what they have, but the Mets are looking really strong. They're getting Yoenis Cespedes back. They have great players returning. Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Jacob deGrom. If he's healthy, hopefully he is. Knock on wood, he's ready for opening day. But I really like the Mets. I'm not going to put them in 1st for the division because that is going to the Braves. But I think the Nationals will lose out to New York. I don't know. I just think there's something about it. I want to see the Mets do really well this year. I want to see them go far and play well. So I really, my gut's telling me to put them in 2nd. Whether that is logical or not, whether that makes the most sense, if the Nationals might beat the Mets, that is very possible because, again, it's a shortened season. I would just personally like to see the Mets finish 2nd. That's where I think they're going to go, so that's where I'm putting them. And in 1st, that is the Atlanta Braves. They just picked up Yasiel Puig, which is great for them. They have a really good team. I really just underrated them in my last predictions video. I like the Braves as well, but when it comes down to Braves and Mets, I'm rooting for New York 10 times out of 10. So they deserve it. They're going to win the division, I think, pretty easily. It might be close for a while, but I do like Atlanta as the favorites here for the National League East Division. And if we look at it from bottom to top, you have the Marlins, Phillies, Nationals, Mets, and Braves. So the National League Central Division, this has definitely changed up a little bit since the last time I gave you guys my predictions. Previously, I said the Pirates would finish 5th, with the Brewers in 4th, the Cubs 3rd, the Reds 2nd, and the Cardinals 1st. Now, I did say in that video that I saw the Cards as a number 2 team. I thought St. Louis and Cincinnati could easily be interchangeable and they could go back and forth from 1st to 2nd. And I said the same thing with the Cubs and the Brewers. So that's exactly what I did here for this new updated predictions video. I still have the Pirates finishing 5th. Again, rebuild. It's as simple as that. They're not doing well. They don't have a great team. And then I have the Cubs 4th and not the Brewers. Now, the Cubs look really good on paper offensively. I think they are going to do well, but I think the struggle for them is going to be pitching. The starting rotation and the bullpen, I just don't think is strong enough to go ahead and win a whole bunch of games, or at least the number necessary to do really well in the Central this year. So with the Cubs being 4th, right ahead of the Pirates in 5th, I have the Brewers in front of Chicago. And I think the Brewers do have a nice little team going for them here. I do think they're going to miss out on the playoffs by just a little bit unless the postseason, the brackets are extended, which is a possibility still. But I don't think they are going to beat the Cardinals and the Reds. Now, St. Louis for me is coming in 2nd with my updated roster and standing predictions. And I say that just because I really like what the Reds did this year. They made some great acquisitions. Like the Chicago White Sox, the Cincinnati Reds are going from a team that ended 4th last year in the division to potentially winning the entire thing themselves out there in the NL Central. I really, really like this team. Nick Castellanos, Mike Moustakas, and everyone else they already have. Like, I'm excited. Eugenio Suarez, Joey Votto, hopefully he can get a bounce back year going for him here. Like, this is a really fun team, and it's going to be cool to see how well they do. And this is kind of what teams are looking for. You know, these 5th place, 4th place teams. The Cincinnati Reds just pulled off or can pull off something spectacular. Like I said, they could go from the bottom of the division up to winning it all themselves. And that's exciting. I want that to happen. I want to see them do well. I have the Reds taking the division. And again, just really quickly, finishing things off here in the NL Central, you have Pirates in 5th, Cubs in 4th, Brewers 3rd, Cardinals 2nd, Reds 1st. Finishing things off here with the National League West, nothing really changed for me. I like my predictions from March, and I'm going to stick with them here. And with that being said, I do have the San Francisco Giants finishing 5th. Now, I think this is fitting. We know that they don't have a good starting rotation. Their bullpen is pretty lackluster, and their offense isn't anything crazy. Buster Posey has opted out of the season, so whoever their catcher is going to be, he's not going to perform to the same extent as Posey would have. And even with Buster, you know, his performances recently in the past couple of years haven't been that great. So I do think that the Giants are working towards a rebuild. It might take a little bit longer than some of the other 5th place teams, but just 2020 isn't their year. I don't see it working out for them, which is unfortunate, but hey, at the end of the day, there always has to be a 5th place team. I think San Francisco is going to be that team this year. Now, in 4th place, we have the Colorado Rockies. Now, they have a great offense, really explosive bats. David Dahl, Charlie Blackmon, Trevor Story, Nolan Arenado, one of the best third basemen in Major League Baseball. I love that, but again, pitching is going to be the problem here. Their bullpen is, again, it's just really rough around the edges, and their starting rotation is nothing to be excited about. So I do see them finishing 4th, especially when you have the Padres in 3rd. I have the young talent on this team doing really well. Fernando Tatis Jr., Chris Paddock. They have Manny Machado. They have other really good names on this team, and I think they can easily go ahead and finish 3rd. They're going to be kind of competitive to an extent. Again, they might be a team that just makes the playoffs potentially if the bracket is extended and changed up a little bit, but they're not beating the Arizona Diamondbacks. I love this team. I really, really enjoy watching Arizona. I've been a fan of them for the past couple years now. They're not my #1 team, but I do root for them when they're not playing teams like the Yankees or the Mets. I love Arizona. I think they really have a nice team. It's coming together. They've worked off some trades, and they got some new guys this offseason, and I love where they're at. I think they're going to do really well. If the Dodgers weren't such a threat, they could easily have a shot at the division. Now, the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, are going to win the National League West. I mean, that just makes sense. Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts. I didn't think this team could get much better. And then they traded for Mookie Betts, and now they have a 60-game season with some of the best outfielders in baseball, offensively and or defensively. It's going to be fun. You know, the Dodgers are, of course, the easy pick here, and I think they are going to win the division. So, from bottom to top, you have the Giants, Rockies, Padres, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know down below who you think is going to do well, who you think is not going to do so well, if you agree with my predictions, if you don't. I want to hear it. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. I'm all for a good conversation. But guys, Major League Baseball is back within a week. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.